Hi, I'm Jaden Hine.
And I'm Molly Eckelkamp.
And this is the last edition of Blue Jay Journal TV for this school year.
State-by-state studies show more and more teens are waiting to get their driver's license. Missouri is no exception. Matthew Amlong recently sat down to discuss the pros and cons of waiting to get your driver's license.
I'm 18 years old.
I am 16 years old.
I do not have my driver's license.
I do not have my driver's license.
While most teens attempt to get their license as soon as possible, these WHS students aren't in a hurry. People might think that not having a license impacts a teen's social life, but Olivia and Drew disagree.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's affected my social life in a negative aspect.
I don't think not having a license has really affected my social life too much.
Although having a license hasn't been necessary, these students both agree that it would make life much more convenient.
Yeah, I wish I had a license just so I'd be able to go out and do things by myself.
I constantly wish I had a license. It's hard to hang out with friends if you're always asking them to pick you up. Sometimes it's difficult because I have to find a ride home and stuff, so I have to leave houses early sometimes, which is always embarrassing. Getting to work and stuff is kind of difficult because I have to plan out with my parents' schedule.
Surprisingly, not having a license does have its upsides.
The friends and family members that I've been able to do things with because I haven't had a license has been a lot of fun and really beneficial.
Despite the ups and downs of not having a license, Olivia feels that it doesn't affect her too much.
Not having your license doesn't mean you can't have a normal high school career or social life.
Considering that on average Americans spend over $8,000 a year on vehicle maintenance, maybe these teens are onto something by waiting to drive. This is Matthew Amlong reporting.
Washington High School has had several students attend Emmanuel Lutheran at some point in time. If you ask them who their favorite teacher was from Emmanuel, many will mention Aaron Hallion. One of the reasons so many students look up to him is because how he and his wife faced personal tragedy and loss with grace.
Lydia Yingling has their story.
We had just had 2 children with by-the-book pregnancies, no complications, and so maybe just a little naive to what could all be wrong.
The Hallions learned early during their 3rd pregnancy that their daughter Faith would be born with many complications.
She had abnormalities with just about every part of her body on the left side. Only time I ever heard Faith, the whole time she was alive, was just a little whimper on the table.
We went probably 3 weeks before we got to hold her again because of all of her cords and wires.
Faith was unable to go home with her parents. She spent 6 months in the NICU.
What was amazing is that, with everything wrong with her, she was always smiling, always happy. And she was a trooper. I mean, she was just so tough. Every day was a good day, even with all that.
But then one Sunday, the Hallions got an urgent phone call from the hospital.
I was driving there and just had this feeling in my heart that this was not going to be good. When we got in her room, she was surrounded by probably a dozen people, and they were doing everything they could to keep her alive. I just opened my Bible and read the 23rd Psalm. Those were the last things I said to Faith, and hopefully the last things that she heard.
The Hallions looked to God for comfort after Faith passed away on September 30th, 2012.
How do people go through that without Jesus? It's not the end for Faith. And I think we find joy and hope in knowing that we're going to be united with her on that last day. And the comfort that provides is just unmeasurable.
The Hallions learned they were expecting another daughter almost 2 years later, but this pregnancy had complications too. Savannah was born on January 19th, 2015 with Down syndrome.
Little did we know that our idea of a healthy baby wasn't even close to his idea
what fit in our family.
of what fit in our family. We needed so much more than a healthy baby. This brought our whole family together.
The Hallions believe that all their children are a blessing, including Faith.
She was the strongest, toughest witness for us, and made our faith just grow exponentially.
Not being able to say anything, she spoke volumes to us.
And she never got to go out and see the sunlight, you know, she never got to spend a day outside. But you wouldn't know anything was wrong if you had known Faith and saw her smile.
Happy birthday, dear Faith.
For BJJTV, this is Lydia Yingling.
I know I'm trying to get a little bit more organized in my life, and I'm not alone. Bullet journals are the newest way for people to get organized and inspired. Colleen Kukum has the story.
I've seen it on Pinterest.
I've heard it through social media.
I've heard it through friends.
Bullet journaling has become the latest craze, and it is now trending here at WHS.
So a bullet journal is like a planner that you customize to fit your needs in your everyday life.
If you get a planner from school, it has the sections filled out for you already, and you don't get very much freedom. With a bullet journal, it's just dots in kind of like a grid form.
You can put like habit trackers or like water trackers. There's like monthlies where you write out your month, and then like weeklies where you write out your weeks, and dailies where you write out your days. But it can be anything else, like movies you want to watch, lists of books you want to read, pretty much anything you want it to be.
With no guidelines to follow, the bullet journal can be tailored to any lifestyle, making each journal unique.
I put quotes all through it, and I track my sleep, heart rate, what I eat, how I felt during workouts, my mood during the day, anything and everything.
I use it to keep track of athletics schedules, and then I have like mood trackers, habit trackers.
Every month I do a monthly, so I draw out a calendar on one page, and then on the next page I have like the dates written down, and I put any big events, appointments, the days I work. I'll draw little simple drawings, and I use washi tape, which is just like little decorative tape.
Creating these journals is not just an enjoyable hobby, but it also offers many helpful benefits.
It helps me, I feel more organized and planned and just less going on up there.
It affects my entire life. It just keeps me on track, and it's motivating too, because it's something I want to see, like the bubbles filled in whenever I complete something. Like I want to see it look good, so it really motivates me to get what I need to do done.
After experiencing the benefits bullet journaling has to offer, these students recommend others try it as well.
It's not even just the productivity of it, it's stress relieving also in a way, just to sit down and just get things planned out.
You can really make it whatever you want, so I do recommend it to everybody.
It does keep you really organized if you're willing to spend the time on it.
This timely process may seem a bit overwhelming, but Michaela Reed has some advice to help you get started.
Don't try to overwhelm yourself, and don't worry about it looking perfect. Like that can be really hard to do. You're going to mess up. It's gonna happen. So, you can put washi tape over top of it, a sticky note, or anything over top of your mistake, and just find creative ways to fix your mistakes.
Do you think a bullet journal is a good idea for you? Just go ahead and give it a try. For BJJTV, I'm Colleen Kukum reporting.
On our weekly Friday show and website, we often feature individual students in a segment we call Not Just Another Face in the Crowd.
With that said, there's one special student here at Washington High School who we didn't get the chance to feature, until now.
Mackenzie Ike was a sophomore who passed in February, and she is someone who certainly will not be forgotten.
How would you describe Kenzie?
And how many words?
And as many as you want.
She was very sassy and independent.
She was like outgoing.
She didn't say bad things to people.
Anyone could just go to her for anything if they were upset.
She was always approachable. Even if you didn't know her, you felt like you could still talk to her.
Bubbly, fun.
Sassiest person that I know.
Like she had like something special about her.
When we first met at preschool when we were like 4, it was insane.
When we were in middle school, we made these YouTube channels and did a collab.
Like we made a YouTube channel because we wanted to be YouTubers, and
didn't really work out.
It was just one of the best days ever because we all got to laugh a lot.
We went by the gas station and gas was $1.19 and we called everybody we knew.
I always like to think about how we've just like 10 years of just being good friends. It's just good to think about.
We knew each other more than we knew ourselves. It was just one of those relationships that was like, you know, like she was my person and I was her person.
She was there with me like anytime, even if we were in like an argument, and she would still just like be there for me no matter what. And then she would do that with everyone else too.
She was always there with you,
And
with your heart.
She really touched a lot of people, and I think that that's kind of helping keep her around a little bit.
Words don't explain. Kenzie.
Before we wrap up the show, Jaden and I would like to say thank you for supporting Blue Jay Journal TV and each of our personal experiences in this program. Yes, Molly and I both joined Blue Jay Journal TV when we were sophomores and have dedicated 3 years of our high school career to this TV show. We know that this wouldn't be possible without the students and the community. So for one last time, I am Molly Eckelkamp.
And I'm Jaden Hyde.
Goodbye, Washington!